Okay, I finished tallying up all the capacitors that I need, and some mixed news. I found all the electrolytics I need on hand in my supply here, and for most of these paper caps, no problem, got them all. But when it came to high voltage caps, not so good. In fact, I only had one out of these 6 that I need. I got a pretty healthy supply here that I got from Just Radios that I bought for other 7-inch sets like the Motorola VT71s and the Admiral 19A11s, but this uses different values. Particular 0.05, whereas the other sets use 0.005, and these use 0.00047, whereas the other sets I have use 0.001s. I could probably substitute these in. It might be good enough to get it running, so I might try that. Also found that these two are both the wrong values. So even though these are really old, these are probably really old repairs. And these are both supposed to be the same value, and they're quite a bit different from each other. Oh, and something else I found is that one of these caps spilled its guts. That's what happens when you power up a set with old bad caps in it. This end actually blew out, and it's this yellowish crap that ended up on this power resistor over here. So I guess I can use these parts and kind of tack a few, replacements in place. But I'm definitely going to need to order proper values to finish this set off. Also, I looked up online. Phil Nelson has a great restoration site where he's done a bunch of projects and posted a lot of photos and notes. And in particular, he worked on this set, and I found out that inside this high voltage box here, where there's a couple tubes and a high voltage coil, kind of like a little Tesla coil, underneath that board there's actually a bunch more parts. So he has instructions. I guess it's pretty tricky to get this board out of this box and flip it over, and we'll need to do some recapping under there as well. So I think that's it for tonight. Tomorrow I'll start pulling out replacing the caps that I do have, and place an order for what I don't. I started recapping the set, and I wanted for just the heck of it to try restuffing one of these. So here's one of the wax caps, and I've got a heat gun. So I'm going to use this old cookie sheet here to heat it up and see if I can get it out. Huh, that's actually easier than I thought it would be. Just a little bit of heat from the heat gun. I was actually able to hold it in my hand while I was doing it just by the end of the lead. And so here's the old insides, and here's the cardboard tube. Looks a little bit better now than it did now that some of the old wax is melted off. I imagine a little bit of like mineral spirits or lacquer thinner will clean that up. So I got an empty cardboard tube now. So the idea is that you take your new capacitor and slide it inside the tube. Put the camera down for a sec. Let's see. And so there we go. And then I guess you can just fill in the ends with some wax. I've got some beeswax on hand. I've done this once or twice before for an electrolytic like this, but I've never done one of these little wax guys before. The one downside I can see to doing it, I mean, it will look kind of neat to put it back in, and then now it's a new cap and all. It's just that, how would anybody else ever know there's a new cap inside there, including myself if I'm not careful? You know, if I put this right back in now, and a few days later I'm working on this set, I might think it's an old cap and clip it out and replace it. But the real reason I wanted to try doing this is that I'm going to be doing some sets later on that are more valuable and are 100% original, meaning like I have a Motorola where every single capacitor in it is the original with a nice logo. They're all Motorola caps. I think it'd be kind of cool on a set like that to preserve it and use all, and reuse all the old cardboard tubes. This set, since I already know that some of these are replaced, and it's not like they're Hallicrafters capacitors or anything, so I might do it on a few, see how it goes. Plus, like I said earlier videos, these electrolytics are pretty well deteriorated, so I don't know if I can salvage these cardboard tubes regardless. But hey, if anybody wants to try it, if you got a heat gun, it's actually quite easy to do. So yeah, kind of a fun little process. Alright, back to work. Okay, here we are, 2 restuffed caps. What I did was I took the new capacitors and wrapped them in a little bit of paper strip to make them fit tight, because they're actually a bit smaller. They just slid right out of the tube if otherwise. And I took a hot glue gun to plug up each end, and then to make it look nice, because the hot glue was clear and it didn't look so nice, especially with the white paper wrapper I'd put around it, I took the bits of crud that were left from the old capacitors, the wax plugs in other words, and crumbled them up, stuck them in each end, and used the heat gun and melted it back in. Tedious, time consuming, but hey, I think it looks pretty good. So it's just like the old caps, but there's a new cap inside. It's just a matter of soldering them back into where they used to go. Not for everyone, but actually not too bad. Especially if you don't mind just using the hot glue. I mean, all you gotta do is 10 seconds with the heat gun, the old cap slides out, stick the new cap inside, glue up either end, and there you go. Probably do each one in a minute or two. So, yeah. It's another part of the restoration process if you want to be a bit obsessive about it. That's all for now.